The Film/Crew review. Not stupid. No, we finished that one. We didn't actually watch it, but it was bad. We all know it. Yep. You know it. I know it.
They know it.
They know it.
He knows it. She knows it.
Especially Dave.
You bloody knew it.
So this week we are doing something a little bit different. So everybody stay tuned and find out. Hey team, Angus, Strachan here, and welcome to the Film Slice Podcast. I'm here as always with my co-host Kane Diggly Willy Kane Dogs.
Thank you.
And the man formerly known as Brody Ledoux Broadman Richards. This week he is known as
Brody Little Broadman McRichards. Because we're not reviewing a film this week, I see no point in hiding my identity.
very good. But unlike every week, we're not reviewing.
We're doing a good
movie.
podcast. No.
No.
That's staying quite consistently average.
We are in fact reviewing more than one movie.
We're discussing.
Lads. We're not reviewing really.
We're discussing Marvel Studios.
Jordan's disgusting.
We're all discussing Marvel Studios Phase 4 announcements from Comic-Con last week.
San Diego Comic-Con,
Yeah.
SDCC.
So I'm going to list through this pretty quickly, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the ones that we're interested in. Alright, so firstly, these are the films that have been announced so far. We have the Black Widow standalone movie.
Yep.
We have a movie called The Eternals. We have Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. We have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. We have Thor, Love and Thunder. And my personal favourite announcement, we got Blade. I'm actually really excited for Blade, guys. And then...
Hope they get Wesley Snipes back.
So we'll talk about some of those movies, and then after that, we also have some announcements for their upcoming Disney Channel, for their TV shows as well.
Streaming service.
So
Which
first
we're
up,
not getting.
Yeah, no. If you're in Australia, most of this podcast is pretty obsolete.
I think we're not getting it for at least a year, is what it said, so we'll probably get it in like 2021 or
So
something
just
like
stream
that.
it. You'll be fine. No one cares.
I think they're putting this up on Stan, I think. Is that right?
Maybe.
I'm not
All of
sure.
their Disney stuff is on Stan at the moment. It comes down to what deal they strike up, I suppose.
Yeah.
Alright, so first up we have Black Widow. This is going to be a prequel for obvious reasons. Spoilers for Endgame, but she dead.
She did.
So this is going to be a prequel. I'm not...
Sound the spoiler alarm.
Oh, what a cool sound effect, Angus.
Alright, I'm not too excited for this. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if that makes you guys excited. Are you at all looking forward to...
It's about
Black
4
Widow
years
prequel?
too late.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean,
Yeah.
clearly they're doing it because they wanted, put in some more of the female standalone superhero films, and Scarlett Johansson is one of the few that never got one.
Yeah.
So I totally get that perspective, but also she's not that
superhero.
interesting, I think, as a character.
Yeah.
And the problem is her film is going to be... What was that, Red Sparrow? It's just going to be Red Sparrow, which was the Jennifer Lawrence movie about a girl who...
Which is so gross. Did you guys watch that one?
I didn't, but you called me and told me everything about it. And I was like, that's my kind of a film.
I just felt sick watching it, just in the gut. Anyway,
So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to it. I think it's probably going to be the most meh for me out of this whole list.
The problem with that is that Black Widow's backstory is kind of throughout all of the other films. So you kind of know it already.
Quite generic. We don't know a lot about before she joins the Avengers, apart from, there's this weird Age of Ultron scene where she was in ballet or something, and then I don't know, they did something to her that stopped her from having kids, and yeah, I don't know. I'm all for more female superheroes in the genre, but just start making some new characters. Next up after that, we have what I'm probably the most interested in is the Eternals.
Eternals. What the hell are the Eternals, Cane Dogs?
So I had to do my own research for this because I didn't know. So the Eternals is a comic book based on celestial beings, basically. The whole idea...
Guardians of the Galaxy?
It'll tie into that in the MCU. So the whole idea is that they're at the very beginning of the world in the Marvel Universe, there were the big celestial beings, and they imbued a particular species of mankind with crazy powers. So you're talking about flight, they're talking about mind control, you're talking about bloody shooting lasers out of your brass, you're talking about doing a whole bunch of crap.
Shooting lasers out of your brass.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you don't know what I mean...
I thought you said bras.
If you don't know what I mean, I'm not explaining it to you. And the idea is that it's a group of people that have lived on Earth with these superpowers. Some of them are aware that they have these abilities and some of them are not. And they're basically the universe's defense against characters like Thanos and other giant superpower
But isn't
beings.
Thanos an Eternal?
Thanos is they fight, not the Eternals, they fight a deviants. So the deviants are like the nemesis version of that. So Thanos is a deviant.
But so the Celestials
Titan.
made a bunch of superpowered creatures, and half of them are bad and half of them are good.
Yep.
And the good ones were made to fight the bad ones.
Oh, it's more just that like there was a general disagreement. So half of them wanted to take over the universe and half of them wanted to protect it.
Oh, okay.
And there came within the definition. Think sort of X-Men and like, you've got the X-Men and then you've got
The others.
Magneto's other people that didn't get names.
The
because they weren't
X-Men
as
and
cool.
the Seaman.
And exactly. So it's sort of that type
Age-old
deal.
battle.
We actually have a pretty stellar cast for this one though. So I'm not sure exactly how they're going to tie this into the MCU because where the fuck were all of these characters during the MCU? But we do have Angelina Jolie. We've got Richard Madden. We've got others whom I don't know. But
So it's real stellar cast.
there's names I don't recognize, but I recall seeing the pictures and being like,
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, okay, fair enough.
that comes out next year. So does the Black Widow movie. But I think I'm mostly interested in it because it's going to feel quite different from the rest of the MCU films.
It'll be
on
like
this
the
list.
first Guardians of the Galaxy, where all of the
A little
other
bit, yeah.
MCU movies like
It's
based on
got
Earth,
Jamal
that kind of stuff.
Nanjiani, who was in Stuba.
Oh, good. Great. So we more or less reviewed Stuba. We've basically reviewed Stuba.
Yeah.
Swings and roundabouts come full circle because we've seen Celestials before, so it's not like a big jump into like, oh, now everything is magic kind of
Yeah,
thing. Like,
they've built the foundations in order to bring these characters into the world. It'll just be really interesting to see how they do it. So
and the
all of
Celestials had the Infinity Stones, didn't they?
I feel like the Infinity Stones just were created when the
they
universe
just
was
existed
created.
before they existed, and then the universe sort of existed around them.
Yeah. But a thing about the Celestials, not the Eternals, but the Celestials,
Yep.
is that the place called Nowhere in Guardians of the Galaxy, that's in the dead skull of a Celestial, right? Yeah.
So yeah, to my knowledge, there aren't any Celestials left in the world of, unless they bring in Fantastic Four, bad guy,
Galactus.
bloody Galactus. Yeah, outside of that, pretty sure there aren't any Celestials left. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to introduce this, but I'm excited to see what they do. I think I'm just excited to not know what's happening next.
Agreed. Next. More. I want more information.
Wow, coming up
More
after that,
movies. More MCU movies.
we have Shang-Chi and The Legend of the Ten Rings.
Uh-huh.
So Shang-Chi...
What's that?
So yeah, okay, so Shang-Chi is a really old, arguably kind of...
Grammatically, politically incorrect.
Yeah, but also very... it's pretty much a stolen version of a lot of...
Of Iron Fist.
No, but a lot of Chinese comic books of just characters like Jackie Chan and things like that have been accentuated.
Bruce
So
Lee
he's
and-
basically... Yeah, so his whole thing is just that he's the best martial artist to ever walk the planet, to the point where he's basically a superhero.
So he's basically like Iron Fist.
A little bit, yeah. But I guess I'm excited for this one.
Iron Fist's made of iron.
Except there's no parts of him that are made of iron. There's zero parts of him that are made of
Then
iron.
he's nothing like Iron Fist.
Does Iron Fist have an Iron Fist?
No.
He can make his hands glow, and then they're as strong as iron.
Oh, that's nice.
He can shoot beams in the cartoon, but he never does it. Anyway. I'm not sure if this movie's going to work out too well, because his whole thing is that he's going to be great at martial arts, but in the MCU, fucking everyone's great at martial arts.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they're going to really accentuate the difference between everybody who can just do backflips and karate kicks and all of that kind of crap.
Especially with 2 movies before you get Black Widow, which is just martial arts.
Yeah.
Like,
Hopefully it's more low key and they like go like a cool like John Wick martial arts movie route.
Well, but it's called and the Ten Rings, which is
Legend of the Ten Rings.
Legend of the Ten Rings, which is
it's
a
the
reference to the
Mandarin.
Mandarin.
Sonic? No.
Yeah, Sonic.
Sonic, yeah.
yeah.
The Mandarin, which we did get in Iron Man 3, and then they retconned that so that
They
it was...
just ruined it.
They retconned that in a short film called All Hail the King, where they were like, no, the Mandarin exists, and it's not this guy.
And it's not Guy Pearce.
It's not Guy Pearce.
Famous Australian Guy
Famous
Pearce.
Australian Guy Pearce. It's not him. So next up, we have Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. This is the Doctor Strange
Is it
sequel.
and the Multiverse of Madness or in the Multiverse of Madness?
In the Multiverse of Madness.
Yes.
This is going to tie directly into a TV show that they're doing called WandaVision, in which we're going to follow Scarlet Witch and Vision, and in that, her powers are going to develop to a point where she's able to alter reality and alter time itself and things like that. It happens a lot in the comics. The idea is Doctor Strange is going to have to maintain reality within the universe that the MCU is in. So it will be sort of a buddy cop film of Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch, and at that point, her powers will be fucking bonkers. So his job will be to
So-
sort of...
How is Vision back?
We'll get there when we talk about the TV shows.
Okay, but you
So-
kind of just mentioned it, so we could touch on it now.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure they're bringing Vision back because she's able to alter reality and things like that. It's actually going to be a lot of quirky episodes, and in a lot of that, she's going to bring him back, to our knowledge. We don't know too much about how that's going to work, but within the comics, she actually pretty much retcons the entire MCU. Most times they try to change the comic book universe to republish comics. They use Scarlet Witch to be like, no, she just changed reality.
Well, Jordan,
I
if
know
you
what they
could go over to Marvel and find out exactly how she gets Vision back, and
I'm doing that tomorrow, actually. I'm going to
report
see
back,
him.
that'd be great.
I have a
Surely-
meeting with Stan Lee. I'm sure it'll go really, really well.
Surely, like, Vision's just a machine. I mean, no offense, Vision. But Vision's just a machine. Just build another one, right?
Yeah. You just build another...
Get another Mind Stone.
Yeah. With that buddy cop thing, it sounded like you said that Wanda was destroying the time.
Yeah, so it's going to be a
Doctor
lot
Strange
of...
has to fix it. So do we know the bad guy? Is she the bad guy?
No, well, because it's an MCU film, it's more or less implied that she
Is she going to bring back her brother? Kick-Ass?
Maybe. There'll be some people that get it, and most people won't, and that's fantastic.
He was a massive disappointment in that film, wasn't he? He kind of just showed up, hello, and then he died.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's because X-Men owned
Yeah.
Quicksilver or whatever. Yep. But now bloody Disney got him back.
Yeah, well, they very well could bring him back in
Yeah.
one way or another if the actor wants to do it, and I'm almost 100% sure he doesn't, because I'm pretty sure he was really fed up with it all.
Oh, yeah, who would want to be in a multi-million-dollar Marvel movie
You know who?
and get set for life?
Natalie Portman.
Yeah. So much money. Of course she does.
So bringing that back around, good segue. After that, we have Thor.
High five me.
Thor.
Tap myself on the back for that one.
We have Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
So I didn't.
Which is arguably my favorite name of a
Yeah.
movie ever.
Yeah.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Love
Also the one
Thunder.
I'm most looking forward to.
Looks very 70s
Yeah.
cartoon, like He-Man-y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the return of director Taika Waititi from Thor: Ragnarok.
Which is surprising because I thought Taika Waititi was like, yeah, I'm going to do this big movie because it'll be fun, but I don't want to be caught in the franchise. Like,
But as Brody said, I
Yeah.
mean, hey, here's
yeah.
$1 billion and you're set for life.
But yeah, and also, yeah, that would have just been probably getting on his back, like, please come and do another one, please come and do
Yeah.
another one. But then also, with that much money, being in control of a production with that much backing behind it would be so freeing for him, right? For like every single thing he's ever done, he's had to like probably put a lot of thought into budget for stuff. But in this one, he can just think about like, can we do a joke with this? And everyone's just like, yeah, we can.
Yep.
You know, so it's like he's
just add
like
2 days
the
into
idea
the
of
production,
Korg,
yeah.
you know, as a character for Thor Ragnarok. Like that's just like a great like. There's so many jokes came out of that, and that's something you could not have done in
Without
a smaller
him.
budget film, right?
Yeah.
So there's like having that much budget would have been like so freeing, like creatively. Like
I think-
we can just do all of this.
And also from that, like Thor's chapter within the MCU is more or less closed in terms of what they need to do with him. So Taika Waititi probably has a lot of free reign to really write most of his own stories there now.
Yeah.
And also, it's slated for 2021, the
Yeah.
end of 2021. So when did he make Ragnarok? How many years ago was that? Was that 2 years ago?
2 years ago, yeah.
So it would have been like what, 5 years between them.
Yeah.
It's not bad making
Yeah.
a movie like that every 5 years.
Yeah, so what is surprising is the return of Natalie Portman, who after doing Thor: The Dark Thor, basically said, never doing that ever
Jordan's
again.
favorite joke about
They're
that.
they're the worst, and I'm never ever coming back. And then she came back for Endgame, where she had to pretend to be asleep for a little bit.
But she didn't. It was just footage that they already filmed.
Nope. She came back for that scene, credited. Bam.
But you can be credited for something
Yeah.
outside of it.
Positive she returned for it. Because I imagine that would have started the conversations for what came next, which would be this.
I'm pretty sure as soon as she found out that Taika Waititi was doing it, she wanted to get on that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people would do a job
'Cause-
for like to work with a great director.
Yeah.
Can you imagine doing the first two Thor movies and them kind of being like a flop nowhere, and then
Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok comes around, arguably one of the best Marvel movies ever, and that's the one that you said no to.
Yeah.
You're like, damn it.
Yeah, should you?
Yeah.
So it has been confirmed that she will be taking up the mantle of Thor completely, which does happen in the comics. We get She-Thor, which is just called Thor. But yeah,
she
so
should be called Thor. Yeah.
yeah, so that's going to happen. I don't know what they're
Sure.
Sure. I don't know what they're going to do with Chris Hemsworth after that. I don't know whether it's meant to be the handing over of a title or
He
just
will
the hammer.
be. He will be in this
He
movie.
is in it,
won't he?
yep.
Yeah. It's funny because when we were talking about Endgame, I said Thor would return.
Yeah, so did I. And Jordan was like, "No,
Jordan was like,
no, this is his end. He's gone. He's not coming back." And I'm like, "Well, I think he's coming back from now on." And you're like, "No, not going to happen." And me and Angus were like, well, yeah, "I reckon he's definitely coming back."
His contract had ended. He's renewed it, I guess. But I think this is.
Can you please say it one more time, Jordan?
No. But I refuse to say it.
Angus, if you could go back and just replay it a couple of times in the.
And yeah, I was straight up wrong. And yeah, I was straight up wrong. Straight up wrong. Straight up wrong. Straight up wrong. Wrong. Straight up wrong. Yeah, no, I have a feeling this is going to be a lot of the passing of the torch. I think he might only even be in the first 20 minutes of this, and then it might actually be taken over by Natalie Portman entirely.
So this opens speculation into where Mjolnir comes from again, right? Because, like, in order to be Thor, or to pass on Thor, you have to have Mjolnir?
Well, no, not necessarily. I mean, at the moment, Captain America has the hammer.
Yeah.
And also, he got the hammer before Odin in the first Thor was like, you have to have the powers to pick up the hammer. I don't know how they're going to pass it. I can't actually remember how they do it in the comics. They'll probably do it differently anyway.
Well, it's just
probably.
If you're worthy, you just pick it up.
Yeah, I'm not sure if...
Because that's how Better Ray Bill picked it up in one of the comics. It's just like, there was a weapon there and he just picked it up to like fight some dude or whatever.
Yeah. Look, I'm really interested. I mean, Taika Waititi's fucking hitting home runs.
Yeah. Does Stormbreaker have the same enchantment that Mjolnir has on it?
Well...
So anyone can pick up Stormbreaker?
Well, probably not based on the fact that it's fucking heavy.
And also, Odin put the enchantment on Mjolnir as well, right? And he wasn't around Stormbreaker.
Yeah. RIP. So, and also, like, the handle is just Groot's arm.
Yeah. So anyone can pick that up.
So I think anyone who's strong enough to wield it can.
Yeah. Boom.
So that'll be interesting. And then moving on to the last movie that they've announced for Phase 4, we have Blade, which I am super, super keen on.
Mahershala Ali. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Was Blade like one of the first ever Marvel films that be made into a...
It was the first...
Captain America was made in like the 80s.
It's the first successful... It was the first successful movie made by Marvel Studios.
I'm pretty sure there was an Avengers film made in like the 80s too.
There were, but it wasn't made by Marvel Studios. That was at a time when they sold the rights off to everybody.
Yeah.
Blade was made by Marvel Studios.
Right, okay.
So it was the first... It's the first movie that starts with Marvel at the beginning. It's the first Marvel Studios film. And interestingly, an R-rated horror. Which is what I'm interested in with this.
It'll be a PG.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm wondering. Are they going to...
It'll be PG.
Lean into the horror side of things? See, I'm not sure, because I'm not sure if they'll be able to actually bring Blade into the Avengers in any way.
It'll be PG.
So, I kind of don't want this to be too connected to the MCU, because it's hard to just be like, also, vampires have existed forever, and...
Yeah,
none of the other superheroes noticed or did anything.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just do it as like a virus or some shit.
I don't know. I want this to... like, you're probably right, but I want this to be a standalone film, I guess. I want them to just be like, we're going to have another crack at Blade.
Like, what we can hope for is that they've learnt from movies like Deadpool and like Logan, even though it's not the same studio.
And make a darker, less connected film.
Yeah, make a dark film. Make something that not everyone should see, but people that like it will love it.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is if you tone this down too much, you're really going to have a nothing movie. I think much like Deadpool and like Logan, if you take away the grit and sort of that high impact violence from that, visceral, you really get a very B-rated action film. And because it's like a vampire film, it's also going to feel fucking terrible unless you make it real dark. That's it for the official announcements. It's also more or less been confirmed that we're going to get Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. All of those are coming in Phase 5. So,
really?
Yeah.
I thought Guardians of the Galaxy was meant to be a lot more recent than...
we haven't even seen Phase 4 yet, and they're planning Phase 5. They're
planning Phase 10, man.
They've already hinted that they're also going to chuck in some Fantastic Four, some mutant films. They didn't say X-Men at the announcement. They actually said mutant films.
They're probably going to make them all individual films, right? And then have an Avengers-style X-Men film.
Potentially, but
so we're going to get a Jean Grey. We're going to get a Scott. What's his name? Mr. Scott? John Scott?
Scott Lang.
Laserface.
Scott Lang is Ant-Man. Scott Summers.
Scott Summers. There you go. Fucking... Okay, him and Logan and
Yeah, look.
we're probably going to get an individual film for all of them. Actually, if they do that well, I'm kind of interested in getting an
Have you
individual film
seen
for a bunch of
Legion?
them.
So
And
Legion
then-
is
I
the
watched the first
Marvel...
3 episodes.
Legion is really, really good.
And then
I
getting
really
like
enjoyed that.
an Avengers style X-Men film.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
That'd be
idea.
cool with that.
So the next thing we had announced is all of the TV shows that they plan on bringing to the Disney Channel. So the first
Streaming
one that
service.
we've got coming up is The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So this is about...
Boring
it's,
name.
It's, very unimaginative. So this is basically going to be a buddy cop film. They're bringing back Baron Zemo. Who's
Is it a
going
TV
to
show?
be- Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So they haven't announced how many episodes this is going to be because all the Netflix ones were like 8 to 12, right?
Yeah, hopefully they go for 8.
Yeah, I'm worried that...
Eight's a good number for an online show.
I'm worried that because they're trying to fill up like their streaming service, like they're going to try and flesh it out quite a bit. They're probably going to be like 24 episodes shows and stuff like that. I don't think they're going to be like 45-minute episodes.
That's a whole lot of budget.
Yeah,
for,
but
for
think of
24 episode things, that's so much money.
The problem is they can't afford to put stuff out and have people burn through the stuff that they put out in a couple of weeks. Like if they only put out 5 TV shows and each of them only go for 8 episodes, then their streaming service lasts a week before people are out of things to watch, right? So with the amount of money that they have, I wouldn't be surprised if they put out like the first
Maybe if they do it in parts, it'd be
shows.
okay. If they put out like part 1 this month, part 2 next month, part 3 the month after, or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
But if they just put out 22 episodes, people
Yeah.
are still going to burn through it.
Yeah. It'll be... I'm honestly not sure how they're going to do this because usually when you jumpstart a streaming service of any kind, you have a lot of things to cram it with.
Yeah, you need to have a big
then
back
you-
catalogue.
Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
start adding your own stuff to it, which is what Netflix did, and that proved to be really successful. Whereas Disney are trying to just be like, here's 6 original properties. Fingers crossed. Now, don't get me wrong, they'll also fill it with all of their other stuff that already exists.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll be fine, but I'm not sure.
No matter what, it's going to do well because they're going to make sure that their stuff is only on their streaming service.
Yeah.
So you can't watch any Marvel movie on a streaming service unless it's theirs. You can't
Yeah.
watch any
Unless
of
you're in
their
Australia.
Disney, any of their new
Unless you're in
Disney
Australia.
films.
Population of Australia is really going to go up.
It'll actually be
Yeah.
if like
Everyone
when
just moves to Australia.
if the Disney streaming service comes to Australia in like a year after it's in America, I think it's going to be one of the ones that I'll get
Oh, yeah, it'll be
because
one of the-
Marvel and Star Wars.
They've got a monopoly
It's like,
on some of
yeah.
the biggest franchises in
Yeah.
cinema at the moment. To an
I'm
incredible
so
degree.
looking forward to the Mandalorian. It's like
Yeah,
I think
that looks super dope.
I think I'd get it just for that. You know?
Yeah. All right. Then we have WandaVision. So WandaVision, I sort of touched on.
It sounds like but it sounds like a really bad
Sounds like a Willy Wonka thing.
50s.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say
a 50s television
60s.
company.
Yeah, WandaVision.
Wonder Vision.
It sounds like isn't WonkaVision? Is that Willy
Yeah,
Wonka's
yeah,
TV
yeah.
thing? WonkaVision.
wonky vision.
So that's going to be a
Pictures you
romance
can eat.
between Vision and Scarlet Witch, which was one of the more important plots of Avengers: Infinity War. I don't think it was.
Wait, Vision? How's he back?
So yeah, she's going to bring him back. They're going to have domestic lives and stuff like that. But I think what
They're
they're
gonna have
aiming
domestic
to do,
love. Great sentence.
Yeah, well,
Jordan
what they're
Peele,
aiming to do is
2019.
make a really quirky TV show. I think they're going to try to set it because you can change
But they're
reality
not
and
quirky.
stuff like that. They're not quirky
They're really
characters.
not
No, I
quirky
think the
characters.
thing
I
is,
do miss Vision. I was really
Yeah.
kind of disappointing when he was like one of 3 people that actually died.
actually died. Yeah.
No, like they killed Vision, Loki, and Black Widow.
I think
And
Vision's
it's
one of
just
those characters
it's
where
like,
there's
Vision.
there's a lot they could do with him and they just never did.
Yeah.
Paul Bettany's got such
Also,
good
he never
comedic shots as well.
he never really fought anyone, right? He shot like 3 lasers out of his head.
My
and-
favourite
and one of them
scene
was
is-
that one of them was at War Machine.
Yeah.
and so it's just like okay.
My favourite scene with Vision in it is he fights Hawkeye in Civil War
Yeah.
for maybe 0.5 seconds, and I was like, I'd watch an entire movie with a character like this if
Yeah.
this is the action we got. And then he just shoots a fucking laser out of his head for the rest of it.
Is it, Vision in the comics? Did he always have the stone?
No, so he does start with the stone, and then that does get removed, and he becomes like a, I don't know what they called him, but basically like a black
Vision.
and white version of him. Yeah.
Blind.
Closed eye. No, he becomes like a black and white version, so he loses certain characteristics.
Nearsighted.
And he becomes more
This is the whole TV show.
yeah.
This is side
It's just
jokes.
Scarlet Witch
Roasting Vision.
and some other person sitting on the couch just talking about Vision. Just like imagine if Vision lost that job. What would we call him?
Just them
that's
roasting
it.
Vision.
Yeah.
Okay, then we got Loki. So Loki is the other TV show. So this is going to be based on. This is going to be based around the Loki that we saw in Endgame that escaped with the Tesseract.
Yep. So he's still a villain.
Yeah. So this is before any of his character development in Ragnarok and in not Civil War, Infinity War.
Was Thor
All of his development in Infinity War. Yo,
Well, at the very end of Infinity War, though, he sort of changes sides and he stands up. So all of that stuff where he learns humility and he learns compassion, all of that's all going to be removed. So this is about him going through time, a lot of going through time. But this is basically going to be a bit Doctor Who-esque. It's about him having different impacts on historical events.
Right. Okay.
So, he'll go to Pompeii or something, or he'll go and he'll fight a dinosaur. I don't know. But the idea is that it's going to be Tom Hiddleston going back.
dinosaurs in Pompeii. He'll go and fight a dinosaur. Yo! There'll be other characters that go with him or something. Like,
So it'd be like-
turns out that Loki actually had a child. And now he's got this, like, teenage dude that he's going traveling with him. Blokey.
Blokey. Yeah, g'day, mate. I'm bloody Blokey.
So, I come from the multiverse where
Mate,
everything's Australia.
don't talk to Hitler.
Don't
Don't do it, mate.
Don't do it, mate.
Don't do it, mate.
Just have a Foster's.
Episode 1, tick. You're welcome, Disney.
Episode 1, the most disliked episode of any TV show in Australia. It's like
All
let's
because
have
of
a
the
look at
Foster's
let's have a
reference.
look at our national reception. Oh, it's pretty good everywhere except for Australia. Australia, it's in the negatives. Okay,
It's in the negatives. People went out of the way to unwatch it.
yeah.
Last but not least, we have What If. So this is actually an animated TV show that they're doing. And it's based around a character called the Watcher, who within the comic book universe is someone that keeps an eye on everything that's happening. And he's able to see through dimensions and through parallel timelines.
Where was he
Like-
in Endgame?
Is that like the architect in The Matrix?
Yeah, a little bit like
he made
that.
the universe, and he's talked to Neo 100,000 times.
Yeah.
No, instead of Neo, it'll be Iron Man. He's talked to Iron Man 100,000 times. And what's happening?
It's a lot of that. So the idea of it is we're going to see the characters that we saw within the MCU. They're going to be animated versions. I don't know if they're getting the actors to do the voices. Probably not, because...
Probably.
You think so?
Yeah.
They've already
seems
got
the
Tom
trend-
Holland to sign on for 22 films.
So the idea is that in this, they're going to go through scenarios where a character might make a slightly different decision. So in the comic book, there's a point in time where Captain America works for Hydra. So we might get an episode where what if Captain America... What if Character America decided to choose Hydra? Or
Carrot America.
what if in Endgame Hawkeye had fallen and Black Widow had returned? So it's basically a whole bunch of alternate timelines where what if a particular event didn't happen or a character made a
Right,
different decision,
okay.
and then they're going to play that out for a few episodes or an episode or so. That's all. That's all that was officially announced.
Right.
Which is good because my phone's about to die.
Good. Well, that worked out because
Mine
it's
is
time
perfectly
to
charged.
finish the podcast.
Finish the
We've
pod-
hit exactly the right time that we wanted to hit, and I don't have to edit this at all.
Boom!
Can't wait till you edit this down to 8 minutes.
What's your overall thoughts on Phase 4? I
I'm-
thought their presentation was kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, I agree. I think considering they held out from telling us what Phase 4 was, and all we got was these really disconnected, jumbled... It feels a lot like they had a bunch of ideas and they've thrown them at a wall, and some of them might stick. But that's not what we know them for. Like, I'm used to them announcing something and me being like, oh my god, that's incredible. But the only one that's really got my attention at the moment is Blade, and maybe the Eternals, just because I'm looking forward to seeing something slightly different.
I'm interested in Shang-Chi and Thor.
Yeah?
I'm really interested in Thor.
I'm interested in
Thor's
Thor,
awesome. Yeah, and Shang-Chi, I'm interested to see how they're going to take like their look on a traditional Chinese martial arts film.
Yeah.
I think the problem that I find with this is that after such an epic event as Infinity War and Endgame,
Where do you go?
either could immediately cut and then go back to small and try and build it up again, or you could bring back some of those heavy hitters, like,
Yeah.
and obviously
Guardians.
they've like
They're doing
Guardians,
both.
like Guardians, like Black
It
Panther.
annoyed me a little bit that they didn't talk about
should've-
Guardians.
I think they should have. I think they should have put Guardians and Black Panther in there because they're
Yeah.
still franchises that people love.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
still, and the Cane Dogs, you said it in like Endgame. You're like, I'm happy to leave the MCU here.
And I honestly
Like,
am. I think, as I said, out of all of these films, the only ones I'm really going to go out of my way to see is the Eternals because I'm intrigued, and Blade because I
Go out of your way to see.
character.
You're doing this podcast, Jordan. You're going to be seeing all of them.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Whether you like it or not, man. What do you think about the prostitute film?
Hawkeye.
Yeah.
So Hawkeye,
Prostitute named Kai.
I'm not sure. I actually think it's going to be a TV show. Hawkeye is a TV show that they're doing, and it's going to be the handing over of a torch from Jeremy Renner to the new character. I don't know if they've cast her or not. The Hawkeye in the comics at the moment is a young girl, and she basically starts out as sort of a sidekick and comes into her own.
Yeah,
And it's going to follow her. So that'll be...
it's going to be his daughter.
Named Kai.
No.
Because in Endgame, she is firing an arrow, so that would be like
So
good-
see, Hawkeye will focus on Clint Barton training up his protege from the comic books, Kate Bishop, to take over the mantle of Hawkeye following the events of Avengers Endgame.
Kate Bishop.
Who's Kate Bishop? Kate Bishop. Why does that sound...
Bishop to E4. Checkmate. Got him, and that's the end
Bishop
of the podcast.
Phase-4.
Yeah, they haven't cast it yet.
Oh, why did I say phase? I didn't say phase 4. I said like E4 or something.
You said
Damn
E4,
it.
man.
Missed that. Anyway.
What a miss.
Cool. Yeah, let's end that podcast there. I hope you enjoyed this. If you're into it, if you're not into phase 4 of Marvel, if you're not into Marvel, you're a bloody idiot.
Thanks for listening
Should've
to our
turned this
Stuba
off
podcast.
ages ago.
Next week, we're doing Hobbs and Shaw.
Yes, that's right. Next week we're going to be reviewing Hobbs and Shaw.
A movie.
We're going back to the movies.
A Fast and
because
Furious story.
This podcast hopefully worked out well enough that we could get through one of them, but I don't think we could do it. I don't think we could do this again for a long time until Phase 5. Hobbs and Shaw next week. We will see you then. Thank you for listening to Film Slice Podcast. You can hit us up on Twitter. You can hit us up on YouTube. You can hit us up on Insta. And Facey. And all that bloody good stuff that you love. You millennials, you. Next week we're reviewing Hobbs and Shaw. So don't forget The Rock's favourite catchphrase. Hey!
I like a big baguette.